If you are thinking about buying real estate in Portugal, especially in the Algarve, there are a few things that most buyers completely overlook. These are exactly the things that end up costing people up to 6 figures without even realizing it. Here are a few data-driven insights that will completely change how you should look at property prices in Portugal. The last two will blow your mind. The first mistake is assuming that the asking price reflects the real market value. Asking prices are not transaction prices. If you look at the data, apartments in Portugal average around 3.7 thousand euros per square meter, while houses are at 3.1 thousand euros per square meter. The second mistake is ignoring time on market. In many micro-markets, especially in the Algarve, properties sit on the market for months. That tells you one thing: the market has already rejected that price. Apartments take on average 147 days to sell. Houses take around 217 days. So if you see a property that has been online for longer than that, you are looking at a property that the market has already refused at that price. The third mistake is thinking Portugal, or even Algarve, is one market. If you look at price per square meter across districts, it looks like this. So when someone tells you this is a fair price for the Algarve, that statement is basically meaningless without micro-location context. The fourth mistake is misunderstanding supply. Right now, there are over 16,000 properties listed online in this segment alone. A large share of these listings are not fresh inventory. They are leftovers. Properties that didn't sell were overpriced or being slowly reduced. This creates an illusion of high demand, while in reality, a big part of the market is just stagnant supply. The fifth mistake is not understanding how negotiation actually works in this market. Real estate in Portugal is not a fixed price market. When you combine long time on market, visible price reductions, and differences between asking and realistic price levels, you start to see that negotiation is not optional. It is built into the system. But most buyers don't use data. They rely on what they are told during viewings, or even worse, take emotional-driven decisions. So if you take away one thing, it is this: the biggest risk when buying property in Portugal is not choosing the wrong house. It is misunderstanding the price. If you start looking at properties through that lens, you will make completely different decisions than 90% of buyers. 6. Rules like NHR2 are changing, meaning demand is lower since the beginning of 2024. 7. Prices rose with 13% in the last year alone, but demand dropped after the new, not-so-generous NHR2 rules. So it's a timing thing with prices still on the rise, but demand not catching up and big gap resulting from all of this. If you as a buyer are not negotiating the price, you might get yourself an overpriced property deal. 8. Last but not least, sellers' agents work for the seller. Their commission is higher when purchasing price is higher. If a buyer's offer is too low, that offer sometimes doesn't even get passed to the seller from the real estate agent. So all in all, get someone trustworthy on your side. Help you navigate the complexity and intransparency of the current real estate market, unless overpaying for a property is what you are looking for. Check out the description below, where you will find a helpful link preventing exactly that. Thanks for watching. Bye.